Computerized Start is brought to you by my awesome patrons on Patreon, and by your tips and memberships on Ko-fi. These and other channel supporters make my live streams possible. You too can become a channel supporter with tiers starting at just $1. And as always, thank you for all your support, including sharing, chatting, liking, and subscribing. Now roll that famous logo animation! Good evening and welcome back to Computerized Start Live. I'm your host, Justin D. Morgan. And this is the last Tuesday live stream in a while, because starting next month, I'm going to move to Mondays and Thursdays. So, enjoy the Tuesday stream while you can. And that's not to say I won't change it up again someday in the future, but it's to avoid some conflicts. So therefore, Mondays and Thursdays, starting in June. Dinosaur says roar. Also, got the coffee goal. Link is in the description. If you didn't see Trina's stream on Saturday, well, you missed the unboxing of the Atari ST that I had her play logistics for me. So it made it safe to Virginia. We'll be looking at that more in the future. And Dave's stream yesterday is throwing me off. It does not feel like Tuesday. It feels like Monday. And yet, here we are. It is Tuesday. We have Thomas Armstrong in the chat. Jeremy's Vintage Hillbilly Shack. Greetings. Where did my YouTube metrics go? There we go. I have 3 viewers. All right. Well, I guess to everyone that hasn't joined yet, they are going to miss out on this important announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our favorite segment, Wheel of Regrets. Here's your host, Justin D. Morgan.
Hey, who comes with these titles anyway?
Yes, I have a few items from eBay, and we will start with this box here. Comes to us from an eBay seller in Illinois. So hi to all my eBay sellers and viewers in Illinois. Also, interestingly enough, this box was made in Huntington, West Virginia, apparently, or at least that's where the box certificate says. I did not realize there were any companies making boxes in Huntington, West Virginia. So I guess anyone from Acres Packaging Solutions Incorporated happens to be watching the stream, well, I've got one of your boxes on the bench, and it looks like it survived shipping. Now, whether the contents survived, well, that is going to depend on the eBay seller actually maybe adding a little bit of packaging material along with the box. And I'm a bit concerned because of the size of the box. And I am concerned that Gutbaum is not here to provide a guess. I'm concerned that Francois is not here to provide a guess. So, yeah. 19 by 13.5 by 9.5. I theoretically know what is... Thomas Armstrong says eBay safe. Yeah. Well, it does look like they used some styrofoam. Oh, well, maybe it was big enough. All right. This is like one of those things that I was like, I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this. I really don't need this, but I don't remember what they listed it at, but well, when you see the design of it, you might get an inkling as to why I ultimately relented and paid the eBay tax. I mean, it does look like it survived shipping. Alright, I am going to be a bit careful with it, because it needs some rust repair. But we have this wonderful AT case that I remember using so many of back in the day. I think this was like the case my boss ordered when we needed to build computers for quite the while before he went to a cheaper case. But like, this is seemingly the quintessential case of like 1997-ish. And while this case does have a little bit of rust on it, I think I can take care of it. And it will become a nice case for, I don't know, I was thinking about today what I wanted to put in it, and I think I might use this case for a build that would be a lot like one of the first computers I ever built. Oh, we have newer ham radio Elmer. Hi, newer ham radio Elmer. I remember making a 286 the real way. Yeah. Anyways, I'll have to 3D print some drive faceplate covers, assuming I don't load this up with drives. Anyways, there we go. It's like quintessential 1997. And it's an AT case. There we go. Memory's unlocked. All right. Let me set this down. Really flat on the floor would be best. There we go. Q-Link days way before AOL, says newer. Ah. All right. This next item comes to us from an eBay seller. I'm not letting the USPS label fool me. Comes to us from an eBay seller in China. And yes, I'm pretty sure that I paid something additional because the eBay listing said that all applicable tariffs and duties were included in the shipping price. But we have, there we go, 2 ICs. These are Crystal CS9236-CLs. These are wavetable chips for a sound card that I have for an IBM. I only needed one, but I ordered 2 because I wanted to make sure I maybe had one legitimate one. Amazing how I have about a 50% failure rate on chips like that. And finally, this last package comes to us from an eBay seller from Montana. Specifically, Bozeman, Montana, for all you sci-fi geeks out there of a particular type of sci-fi. So, hi to all my eBay sellers and viewers in Montana. I think, oh yeah, okay. Oh, hey, SadMac356, Eep. Oh, there we go. Hold please while I open the inner box that has someone's address on it, fully visible. And I'm actually not quite sure it's the seller's address, so... no, it is not the seller's address, so... I don't want to dox my address. I don't want to dox the seller's address. But I definitely do not want to dox some random third-party person who might have not even realized this person swiped a box from their recyclables. So I'm going to open the inner box, which they made an interesting triangle-shaped box out of it, so it would go in the old prime envelope. So, hold please. I feel like I'm watching a video that I watched this past weekend of someone who was opening a box. I think it might have been Joey Does Tech or something, and yeah, someone sent him something that was in an envelope that had some random third-party person's address on. Anyways, we will get that off stream. So we have memories. Specifically, memory chips. Actually, you know, the more I look at these, the more I realize that these look familiar. So I bought a bunch of memory chips from an eBay seller that's in Wytheville, Virginia. They were selling a whole bunch of new old stock National Semiconductor memory chips. And it didn't dawn on me when I bought this lot, because it was fairly cheap for the, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44 little memory chips. Whew. Most of them were National Semiconductor chips. So, in fact, actually, no, it wasn't the seller in Wytheville that I normally order from. I think it was some other seller. And they were even selling the National chips in these weird holders. So I have a feeling someone bought a bunch of those memory chips from that same seller, and they only needed a few, and they decided to sell the rest. So I have even more of these 16 kilobit by 1 memory chips. And I think there was a buy it now auction, and I think the buy it now price was like really, really cheap. I'm gonna go look it up, because I'm curious why. Oh yeah, the total was $20.13. Yeah, yeah, really cheap. In fact, I think that's about 50 cents a piece, give or take. So anyways, if I need any of these chips for repairing computers, assuming these are good, I would almost be tempted to, like, spot check 1 or 2. Yeah, why not? We'll spot check 1 or 2. That'll give me a chance to try to remember where I put my... oh, there it is. The Retro Chip Tester Pro. On Dave's stream, I did a little bit of an upgrade to it. So I had bought the plastic case for it after I successfully assembled it. And I also have the official power adapter, which I wrote RCTP on it to remind me this is for the Retro Chip Tester Pro. This did nothing for the brightness of the LEDs, so prepare to have your retinas blasted with light. And by your retinas, I really mean my retinas, because I'm pretty sure that there is a maximum brightness that YouTube videos can be. There we go. So anyways, I assembled the Retro Chip Tester Pro in this case, and I also installed the SD card because I had bought the SD card option because I forgot to buy that initially. So the one nice thing about this arrangement is it does let me do that, so that now I can see it. And I'll turn this light off so that my screen is not so blown out. But let's go here to I got a little bit of excess hot glue on one of the buttons. I'll probably have to fix that at some point. Let's see here. So this is a 4164. There we go. So we will just take one of these. We'll spot check a couple. Jeremy says, you have made a microscopic step to getting RAM for your own AI chatbot, but you would need about 92 million of them. I don't want an AI chatbot. In fact, I'm pretty sure the AI chatbot would quit if I hired it. Oh, hi, Francois. Welcome. We're testing potential eBay regrets. We're spot checking them at least. Oh, I think of the bag I opened. These are Samsung brand. The other bag's National. So I knew there were. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Samsung. I have like all the tests turned on, so it takes a hot minute. I will pull out my green marker here. So if I do, when I spot check them, I will put the green mark if they pass. If any of them fail, I will pull out the red paint pen. Also, I think if I was actually going to build an AI chatbot, it would just be easier for me to dig through my box of RAM. Oh, well. Oh, that's not good. Okay, I guess we'll have to screen another chip. I'm not going to throw them out because Okay, well, that one's bad. Surely I didn't fall for the trick of someone selling all their bad RAM chips. I may actually have to put these in an actual computer to run an actual memory test at actual speeds on them. That'll be a later problem. Um, Wait a minute. Are these actually 40? Yeah, that's a 4164. All right. Oh, this is off to a wonderful start. Uh-oh. Where did Oh, that's right. I was going to go look at the eBay listing. See if I overlooked the slight wiggle words that said like completely untested, nudge nudge wink wink. Used, tested as good on an Arduino DRAM tester I made. Various makes, unsure of timing specifications. Please see pictures. Yes, they made an Arduino based tester and tested these chips, and now with the power of the Retro Chip Tester Pro, I am unfortunately probably showing that their Arduino based tester was found lacking. Probably because their Arduino tester doesn't do a March test. Yes. Okay. I will obviously have to test all of these chips at some point before I put them in my collection of chips. I mean, I have also seen professional YouTubers or more larger YouTube channels have memory chips that failed some RAM testers and were seemingly totally fine in a computer. It is possible that the Retro Chip Tester Pro is out of spec for some of these memory chips because it might be too slow. I don't know. That's why I'm not throwing the chips away. I'm just putting a red dot on them to remind me that they failed the Retro Chip Tester Pro. Well, there we go. That one passed. Well, I'll put a little green mark on it. All right, now that I see that some of them passed. All right. Let's go, we'll go pull a memory chip out of this other bag here. I think these are all national brand. These are made in Japan. These Samsung ones are probably made in Korea. They're not marked as such on the top. I didn't think to look at the bottom. Oh, they don't say on the bottom either. Oh, yeah, they do. It says Korea. Okay. I just wasn't looking, apparently. Yes, we'll only spot check a few of these chips, and then we'll move on to the main event. Wait a minute, some of these memory chips are Hitachi chips. Okay, that's nice. And National. And National. Okay. An assortment of brands. Interestingly enough. Oh, there we go. The National and the Samsung ones are all 150 nanoseconds. The Hitachi ones are marked -3. So I guess that probably means they're 300 nanoseconds. Although they might have marked the speed grade differently. Hmm. Oh, there we go. Look at that. All right, we'll give this one a green dot of it's screened okay. All right, how about let's try one of these Hitachi chips. These Hitachi chips were made in Malaysia. In 1984, it looks like. Week 51, so almost, those chips are a little over 40 years old. The national chips, it looks like they were made in, I'm going to guess 1985. The Samsung chips were made in 86. Yep. Vintage 4164s. Well, this finishes. Oh, there it is. Almost there. Oh, there we go. So the 4164s that seem to maybe be marginal for testing in the Retro Chip Tester Pro. Next time I have an IBM XT board out, I'll maybe replace a bank of memory chips with those 4164s and use that to actually run a memory test at speed and loop it. And that'll probably be the best way to tell if those memory chips are actually good or bad. But anyways, there we go. The Retro Chip Tester Pro. Professionally testing retro chips since, I don't know, 2000 something? 2020, I guess. There's the copyright date. 2020. It is nice having it in the case to protect it from myself. So there we go. All right. So now that we have tested those, or spot checked the memory chips, well, that is all for Wheel of Regrets tonight. Tune in next time when I will inevitably admit to I'm saving the last one for Thursday's stream. All right, so we will start with the 486 DLC. Oh, hi, Sylvestron. Welcome. Yeah, well, I just put my retro chip tester in the case yesterday, so that's probably why it's so clean. I'm sure it'll get dusty and dirty as I use it. Anyways, we have the 486 DLC here. And if you were watching Dave's stream yesterday, you would have probably seen me at some point trying to upgrade the cache on this board. Jesse says, I am what the kids call just in time. Yes. Hi, Jesse, and hi, Sylvestron. So, I was experimenting with the cache on this board during Dave's stream because I didn't want to waste an hour of my stream to figure out what was going on with the cache. Because previously, I tried to upgrade the cache on this board to 128K because I had the cache chips on hand, and the board didn't like that. So yesterday during Dave's stream, once I got the 5-volt cache chips and actually had gone through and tested enough of them to have enough for this board, I re-attempted the 128K cache upgrade, and it didn't work. So then I went up to the 256K of cache like you see here, and that didn't work. At least initially. But then it dawned on me that, maybe I should put the original BIOS back in this board in the event that Mr. BIOS is the problem. So as you can see, I have the original AMI BIOS back in the board, which I do need to dump that and send it to the retro web because I don't believe they have the BIOS for this board archived. And lo and behold, how about let me just go ahead and power this up and let you see for yourself. All right, let me move the items that are in the way of being able to plug in or put my power supply on my bench. Right. So I've got the video card in. I have this is the video card that came with it, which is a Trident card. I've got a compact flash card in the I/O controller that came with it. All right, let me go ahead and turn the smart outlet on. Hi, Stian. Welcome. Stian says, joined from the car. I'll have to enjoy the stream audio only for a bit. Well, glad you're here, even if audio only. All right, so let's go ahead and power this board up. And then I will switch to the capture input. Oh, I forgot to plug the keyboard in. That's okay. Oh, wait. No. I can't press F1 to continue. All right, let me plug the keyboard in. Cupum says, yo, I'm late. Did I miss a VIC-20? No, you did not miss a VIC-20. It was a beige computer case. But I missed you saying, if that's a VIC-20. Stian says, I'm late too, but we just finished music bingo down here. All right, so let's go into the BIOS. Oh, by the way, if you ever have one of these BIOSes, the lovely, garishly bright colors, you can press F2 and F3 to change the colors. We'll go with that color set. There we go. Oh, Sylvester says, bright colors only. There we go. Francois says, hey, so it says so down the screen, but who reads that? Yeah. Pink, green, and orange. Pink, green, and orange. Oh, there you go. Pink, green, and orange. Oh, Gupum says, I just finished I was soldering. I just finished the Mac Plus 128.512 version of the mini desktop case. So now it's not just for the SE or SE34 or SE30 anymore. Yay! All right, so let's I don't know, let's change the because this board's not Y2K compliant. Oh, it is. I was for sure it was not going to let me set the date. All right, so let's see here. Let's see here. It is 21, 41. The capacitor on the board will hold the clock for a little bit. All right, so let me go ahead and move this to I think it is. Yep, there we go. It's a moot point, but external cache is enabled. Excellent. Alright. Advanced chipset. I think those are all fine. Interesting how it will not scroll down on the left, but there are settings on the left. But there we go. 256K of cache memory. And to show you that the cache is actually running, Jesse says, I tried enjoying a BBB stream from the car, but the cell service was too terrible. Oh, well, that's nice. Cache check crashed. All right. Oh, that's right. Oop. I turned off memory testing in EMM 386, so it fooled me. There we go. That's better. I don't think cache check likes memory managers running. And as you can see, we have one L2 cache because the Cyrix cache is not enabled. And this is where I admit that on Dave's stream I was trying to find my GoTech and I still have not found it. So if I can find it here real quick while cache check. Then we could actually try installing the Cyrix driver and see if that enables the cache. Would also let us install it on the actual hard drive that came with it, because I don't believe it's on there either. Somewhere. I think the reason I can't find the GoTech is it is in a computer I used a week or two ago. The problem is, I just don't remember which one I left it in. There we go. We have 256K of cash. I didn't leave it in the IBM I got from Tom Barber, did I? Because that computer didn't have a hard drive in it, so in order to see if it would boot, I would have needed a floppy disk. Hi, Jack. Welcome. We have Jack68K here. I was just showing off I got the cache running on this board on Dave's stream. His Dan says, I do okay until I get to the boonies by my house. Yeah. All right, let me go over here and take a peek. right. Still looking. Hold, please. Nope, not in that computer. This computer. No, it is not in that computer. Huh. Okay. Can't find my GoTech still. All right. It is in a computer that I am completely overlooking. Probably because I don't remember using it that long. Okay. Hold. All right. I'm gonna have to think about this one for a moment. Yeah, I don't know what computer I used it in. Huh. But we have 256K of cash. And the reason I'm looking for the GoTech isn't necessarily for the GoTech. It's actually because I need the thumb drive that's plugged into it. So if I happen to find the thumb drive laying on my bench, I know where my other GoTech is, but it doesn't have the thumb drive plugged into it. Anyways, while I ponder a little bit more, I'll run the Doom benchmark. You can see the power of the cache. Okay. Seriously, I think it's Emerson PC because it wouldn't post. Yeah. Mega says, oh, hi, Mega. Hi, Callan. Callan says, evening. Mega says, no, L1 is so slow. Sylvester says, slideshowy. Upum says, we need some vaporwave accompanying the slow-mo doom. Sylvester says, so much time to dodge those fireballs and still didn't. Upum says, I like that Justin is also kind of moving in slow motion. Yeah. Callan says, looks like doom but slower. Jesse says, this is an artist sketch of my brain this morning. Dave says, hey. Hi, Dave. Welcome. All right. Somewhere I just know I put my GoTech somewhere where I'm sure at the time I convinced myself that there is no way that I won't see it here. It is in a safe spot. I will not lose it. Yada, yada, yada. And obviously I was wrong. Sylvestron says, this is Doom as a PowerPoint presentation. Yes. Okay. Honestly, I should probably, next time I find that thumb drive, I should get one of those chains like they have at the bank and chain the thumb drive to the bench so that even if I put the GoTech in something, the thumb drive is still here for me to put into another GoTech. Because that's the part of it I really need. Sylvestron says, this just means you need another GoTech, Justin. The correct number of vintage computer equipment is always N+1. Yes, seriously, I should probably should get another one or two because I've got a couple computers I need to just put a GoTech in and leave it. But this is ridiculous. I know I put it somewhere. Thinking I would for sure see it next time I needed it. Now you can tell it's really bugging me where it is. Almost like I'm going to have to go through old live streams and find the last one where I used my GoTech. Okay, this is just not in with that computer stuff. I don't know. I don't know what I did with it. Um, Dave's asking, did I find my GoTech? Nope. Sylvestron says there was 5.15672466617 frames per second. Jack says this is riveting content. Dave says, you better watch out for that T-Rex. Maybe T-Rex ate the GoTech. Jack says, I do like the idea of tethering it to the desk, though. Dave says, 3-foot chain. Sylvestron says, one of those door pass lanyard ones that retract automatically. Yeah, I'm like, what did I do with it? I don't have anything upstairs that would have made me take it upstairs. I mean, I have 2 PCs upstairs that could use it, but I haven't powered them on in so long. I know I've used it down here in the basement. So I think it's a matter of, I gotta remember what the last computer I used it in is. And I probably did something silly, like used it as something to set something conductive on. And I'm kind of afraid that whatever I set it under, assuming that's what I did with it, that it might still be under that item. Unless... No, certainly it's not under or connected to the power supply. they're not in the boxes of floppy cables beside that computer. Okay. Well, that's good. None in that. Alright, I see a box. Nope, it is not under that box. Okay. Where's it at? Not there. There. Not there. 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 Not there. I didn't. No, I did not stick it in with the ISA video cards. Yeah, I'm now looking behind my workbench to see if it fell off the back. No. Alright, guess I'm gonna have to give up again. Seriously, it's not in my pocket. It's not in my ultrasonic cleaner. It's not a coaster. I mean, seriously. At this point, it's got to be under something. Or in a computer. Jack said, could have the retractor pulled down from the ceiling. Must be in some computer, right? Yeah, it must be in some computer. Just unfortunately, the logical computers it could be in, it is not. So that means it's in one of the illogical computers, which means I need to try to remember if there's something in any of these computers that would have prompted me to try to power it up off stream. It's quite possible that maybe. All right, let me go look at my live stream history. Let me see if any of those live streams would have prompted me to pull out a GoTech. I want to say that it's okay. So I did a VCFE prep stream back in April. Could it have been that long ago? Maybe. I did a bench cleaning stream in March. You know, it'd be really nice if YouTube added a, because I know they transcribe live streams. It'd be nice if they had a search feature that I could search the transcriptions of a live stream. Because now I'm about to start scrolling through live streams. Yeah, Jack says, I wonder if it transcribed GoTech reliably. That would be one question. Quite possibly not. Alright, so... Alright, this is how much it's bugging me. I'm going to... Okay, so on my bench cleaning live stream, I had an Apple II clone on the bench. A new bus card. Oh, this is Wheel of Regrets. Let's see. K-Pro keyboards. An IBM that went into quarantine because of mouse debris. A Packard Bell computer. Let's see, I'm spraying the bench off. Did we try to power up the Packard Bell? I don't think we did. All right, so now I'm actually quite literally looking at everything I'm piling on my workbench, because this would be the logical point where I might have put my GoTech on the bench, because then at least I can visibly see that I had it out. Let's see, I pulled the TV out probably to test that Apple II clone. I got a floppy drive on my bench. No, I don't think I had it out during my bench cleaning stream. Okay. Visit LNY Electronics. Let's see here. Wheel of Regrets. I got a Trident sound card. And let's see that. LTE laptop that just worked. Okay, I definitely didn't put a GoTech in that. And the box of floppy disks I bought on eBay that, spoiler alert, every one I pulled out of the box so far was spoiled. All right, and then let's see here. That is one of the computers I got from LNY. Did I pull the GoTech out to boot it, maybe? See, I'm inspecting the cards, checking voltages. I got a keyboard on the bench. Ha! All right, so back on. I guess 2 months ago, confirmed live stream sighting of my GoTech. All right, so I had it out then, trying to flash the BIOS on one of those computers. Let me see here. Did I have it in the second LNY computer? Maybe that's the mystery computer I haven't managed. Maybe I keep overlooking that one. All right. All right, hold please. Okay, so it's not in the first computer I looked at because I quite clearly see it now. Where's the second computer I got from Illinois? Maybe that's the computer I keep overlooking. Oh, no, actually, I think I see it right here. Triple check this one. Okay. So that's a bust. Yeah, no, this is totally riveting content because it is really bugging me now. Okay, so during that stream, we looked at the two computers, and then we looked at that LTE. All right. Then I had two streams where I looked at a 2SI, but let me check for potential. Oh, hi, Joe. Welcome. We have Joe's Computer Museum. Joe, if you misplaced a GoTech, where would you put it? Let me see here. All right. So let's see. I was showing off the SC30 of Sadness as an honorary Wheel of Regrets entry, and then it looks like, oh, the Tashtari that I accidentally opened in Wheel of Regrets, even though I bought that off. Not eBay. Let's see here. And I got a couple power supplies. And an MFM hard drive. I didn't put it in anything to test. And let's see, that's a compact LTE. That's not going to have a desktop GoTech in it. All right. Okay, that's an LC. And then that's the SE. I didn't use the Wait a minute. I didn't do something stupid like use the Gotek as a insulator for the 2SI, did I? Oh, no, certainly I didn't. All right. I'll go check. No, I can clearly see the shelf where the MFM hard drive is. Nope, it's not. The Gotek's not there. All right. Let's see here. Next stream. Let's see. We had a continuation of the 2SI. Oh, let's see here. Wheel of Regrets. I opened a card. What card was that? Oh, it's an MFM controller, a sound card, and then we started looking at the 2SI. Let's see, I know we didn't get that 2SI working. Did we look at anything at the end of the stream? Although, if you haven't watched that stream, forget what I just said. It's riveting Marchintosh content. Okay, I was using a Q-tip box as the insulator prop. Okay. And then I had a VCF East prep stream. Because if I can find the last thing I used that Gotek in. Let's see here. Oh, that's right. I was wearing my lab coat during that prep stream because it was April 1st. That was pretty genius. Let's see, a box of floppies. Oh, no, that was the box of floppies that was all moldy. Okay. Speakers. Let's see, that's got the Mac. Oh, and now I'm doing prep things. So I had the Mac Plus out. I had a TI-99 out. That wouldn't have had a Gotek in it. Let's see here. Had a VIC-20 out. That wouldn't have a Gotek in it. Had a music computer out. That wouldn't have the Gotek in it. Did I pull out the Talking 286 during the stream? Because I checked that computer. But if I had that computer out, maybe... Yes, I did have that computer out. I swapped sound cards. Did I put the Gotek in the computer? Maybe I need to go check that computer. No, I don't think I put the Gotek in it. All right, maybe I should go check that computer. All right. But no, I don't think I did put a Gotek on that one. Okay, next stream. Yeah, you know it's bad when I get so bothered by where I put my Gotek that I am actually watching streams. Okay. This is the VCF East debrief stream. I'm looking at Wheel of Regrets, the stuff that came in after I left for VCF East that was supposed to come in before. Yep. Warehouse Pendant Light. Had an LC in it. Diagnostic tools. To see. And, oh, wait, I got a PC on the bench. It's the PC I picked up at VCF East. Did I put the Gotek in it? let's see, I got a power supply tester that I tried using that I don't think it worked. Wait a minute. Do I have a GoTech attached? I actually think I might have it attached to that. I think I know which. All right, here we go. I have the GoTech on the computer I picked up at VCF East. And then I went, I thought I checked that computer. All right, hold please. That's the mystery computer that has the GoTech in it. That's it right there. No, it had the GoTech in it because there's the floppy cable detached, but nope, GoTech is not in it. All right, well, that was too easy. All right. Okay. Then I had a PlayStation 1 out and the Genesis. And let's see, the exhibit map, Retro Chip Tester Pro. Let's see, I pulled that PC out again to try to update the BIOS. And okay, so I had the GoTech on that computer, but it's not in that computer. Okay. So I'm getting warmer. Believe me, there is a method to my madness. If I can find when I last used it, then I'm probably going to find it. All right, so the beginning of the next stream, I was still looking at that computer, probably where we left off. And let's see here, the GoTech. Also, I'm also trying to see if I spot where I put the GoTech after using it each time I see it used. All right, so after oh, where did I put the GoTech? All right. Okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I just realized something. This is going to be embarrassing. That computer I picked up at VCF East had a bad power supply. I set the entire power supply to the side on my workbench. What's the chance that GoTech is still attached to that power supply? Because I think that might be the last time I used the GoTech. Because then after this stream, I had like 3 build streams for the Retro Chip Tester Pro. And I don't remember using the GoTech during the swap meet stream. All right, let me find that power supply. Probably. All right. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Okay. That's bubble wrap. Sorry about that. I think that's the mystery. That's not the power supply. There. All right. Okay, I give up. It's probably attached to that power supply, and I don't see it. Oh, wait. No, that's not it. That was a stunt double. All right. Well, there's the joystick that was on my bench when I was using it last. All right, now I'm really annoyed. Maybe that's not the last thing I had it on. All right, let me continue scrubbing the stream. Because then I pulled out a C64. It was looking at the C64 for my exhibit. And the joysticks, Mac Plus. I'll get to the chat here in a moment. Pictures that were taken of the event. Okay. All right. I guess we'll check a few more streams. Okay. Retro Chip Tester Pro stream. Let's see here. Some things from Jesse. Some things from eBay. Went upstairs to grab an AMDEC monitor, which I hooked up to wait a minute. Wait a minute. There. Okay, so I tested an AMDEC monitor during the stream, but did I ever hook the GoTech up to the computer I used to test it? Not that I can tell. Okay, and then I just get to the retro chip tester build. All right, well. All right. Well, I know which computer that was, so I guess I'll double check that. All right, part 2 of the build, did I... Let's see, we did have Wheel of Regrets, but was it anything I tested? No, did not test anything that stream. All right, Chip Tester Pro build part 3. Wheel of Regrets. Yes. Did I test anything? No. Okay. There is one computer that I probably should check. All right, system source swap meet. Let's see here. Box of miscellaneous stuff. I didn't test that. Let's see here. Oh, that's... All right. SSDs. There's a printer. Apple IIe I picked up from Tom. The 2GS. Okay, I didn't use the GoTech there. We got the IBM PC. See, I do try to hook up a... Did I use the GoTech on it? I tried to hook up a hard drive. Hard drive. Compact flash card. Ran DOS bench. No, I don't. I never had the GoTech hooked up to it. Let's see here. That is the Dell. Did I ever hook the GoTech up to the Dell? Oh, there's the roasted power supply. Put a compact flash card on it. I don't think I ever put the GoTech on it. Not that I can see. There's the e-machines. Then I pulled out the one of the computer I'm working on now. And the other one. Unfortunately, I know the GoTech's not in either of those cases. No. All right. Okay, I think... Yes, totally riveting content. I think I have narrowed down where the GoTech has to be. It is either in the Talking 286, because I had that out during a stream, and it's like one of the last... I don't know if I had the GoTech hooked up to it. Sylvester says Gone Tech. Oh, you know, the chat just like went kaboom. Oh, wow. The chat just basically, I just got like 30 minutes of chat messages. I thought the chat was, or 20 to 30 minutes of chat messages. Let's see. Gutbomb says it's inside an Amiga. Well, if I only had an Amiga. Jack says, lol, in that L&Y stream, you moved the GoTech while not on camera, I think. Yeah. Sadmax says, check the lab coat. Okay, I'll check the lab coat. I see where the lab coat is. Jack says, I've located the moment in the L&Y stream where you moved it. Meanwhile, my cat is demanding attention, says Sadmac. Did I take the VCF? No, I don't believe so. Sadmax says, so everyone, Keisha says hi. Hi, Keisha. Jack says, was it on BBB's table when it collapsed? Alan says, it's literally gone tech. Yeah. Jack says, no tech. Yeah. Sadmax says, ah, yes. Where did I last have it on video? Alan, the great GoTech Quest. Sadmax says, it's probably still attached to the power supply unit. Power supply lost too. Jack says, T-Rex is going to eat me. Yeah. Sylvester says, if it's just on the floor next to your bench this entire time. And Jack says, the GoTech is a cloning device that makes whatever it's attached to invisible. Alan says, we've had some time. Sadmax says, wow, weird. Jack says, we're here. Yeah, I know the chat likes to do that to me. Okay, so you all have offered a couple suggestions. Okay, it is not on the floor immediately beside me that I see. Okay. Someone said check the lab coat. All right. I will check the lab coat. I have the lab coat right here. I folded it up neatly after the stream where I last used it and set it on top of the Sega Genesis. And there is nothing in the left pocket, and there's nothing in the right pocket. So, unfortunately, it's not in the lab coat. That was a very good idea, though. It is also not around the Genesis. Okay. I had the idea that there is two computers it could be attached to. The only problem with that power supply is I didn't see the label side of it, so I don't remember what brand it is. But okay, let me check the computer. All right. So the Emerson 286 I had on the bench at one point around the time I last used it. You see the monochrome card is still in it. Unfortunately, though, the Protec is not. Really am I sure that power supply I'm looking for is not one of these? Okay, it's not that one. Not that one. Not, that one doesn't have a good head. What? Okay, this is weird. All right. I was looking for the power supply. I don't see the power supply where I had it attached last. But the thing is, I don't know what kind of power supply it was, other than ATX. But that is not specific enough. All right, let me go upstairs real quick and check one computer. And I think I just realized it is upstairs. I was correct in remembering that. I got some water. Maybe if I have some water, I'll spot the power supply I can't find. Because seemingly, I have a power supply or two that are unaccounted for. Alright. No, actually, I think I see one of them. Okay. Stan says, don't give the power supply any water. Not good for it. No, the water is for me. Not the rubber totes that I keep walking by. Am I sure it's not in this computer? No. Alright, now I am kind of wondering, did I? Yeah, don't forget the thumb drive, Dave. It's like just as important as the GoTech. Seriously, it's like the thing should be sitting out in the open. I don't think I took it to VCF East. That was someone's question. I know I took some stuff to VCF East as like backups, but I had no PCs with me, so I don't think the GoTech went to VCF East. Besides, I think it was in a stream after VCF East, so that's not where it is. And I think I do see at least one of the two power supplies that I got on Wheel of Regrets, and one of which may have been the one I used for testing that one computer. Seemingly, though, there's another power supply around here somewhere. It's probably staring me in the face. Collins says puts a new spin on vaporware. Yeah, seriously. Okay, there is like one thing. Okay, I give up. I'm going to stop looking for it. Ah, good night, Sylvestron. Okay, so it's probably still attached to something. I have all sorts of floppy cables beside me that are taunting me. But I keep, like, picking them up to see if there's something attached to them. And nothing is attached to them. The only thing is, the GoTech is black, which makes it blend in with stuff on my bench. So, fortunately, I'm afraid when I do find it, it's probably going to be embarrassing because it's probably going to have been blending in with something. Even if that something is a shadow. Found it. You see, I knew if I gave up looking for it, it would, like, show up almost immediately. I am going to decline to say where it was, only that it was hiding in a shadow. Yeah, I seriously found it. Right there it is. I'm driving all. See, I told you if I gave up, well, maybe I didn't actually vocalize it, but alright, I think that's correct. Yes, it was on my bench in a shadow. It was in a spot on my bench that I had stared at so many times, I didn't realize that what I was looking at was not a shadow underneath of something, but instead was the GoTech I was looking for. How embarrassing. So if you like it when someone finds their long or short lost tools, don't forget to smash that like button to let me know that you too have lost trivial things in ridiculous places. And as my grandmother would have said, if it was a snake, it would have bitten me. It would have been a copperhead for sure. Jack says, do you need someone to 3D print you a new case in a high visibility color? Yes, hot pink. But the brighter, the better. Especially if it glows in the dark. Stian says, it might have bitten you, but only after you stopped looking for it. Callan says, good thing it wasn't a snake. Alright, so we got a GoTech. Alright. So now, after so much time, Dave says loose things on the bench all the time. Alright, so let's write to CMOS and exit. Let me put the disk image on here while we boot into DOS. Oh, something tells me I forgot to safely eject that. Whatever. At least the one good thing is I've already downloaded the drivers. Yeah, that was embarrassing. Alright. Excellent. Now back to Doom at 5.1 frames per second. Well, hold on. We first are going to install the Cyrix driver. There we go. Alright, so according to, I think it's Phil's computer lab, this should be the correct disk. And Dave says, could be worse, you could still be looking for it. Yeah. Well, that's annoying. Oh. My GoTech is giving me an error. Error 31. Okay. Oh. Oh, actually something is wrong with that image. Okay. Because it's giving me an error on... Oh. Well, that's weird. So it's a 1.44 megabyte disk image, but the disk image file is 1,441 kilobytes. Well, that's probably why it's complaining. All right, we'll call this Cyrix driver. I can type. All right, let's save that. And now, hopefully, I used Win image. Well, that didn't work. All right, change format. Save. There we go. There we go. Whoever made that image file did something wrong. All right. All right, so let me delete the bad disk image. And basically, I went into Win image. I told it to change the format. I selected 1.44 megabytes again, and then saved it. And now the image is the correct size. So I don't know what's wrong with the original image, but WinImage was able to open it. So whatever was wrong with it, well, it at least didn't affect WinImage's ability to deal with it. But there we go. Okay. See, there we go. That was it. Stan, abort retry fail actually does sometimes work. Like in this case, it actually did retry to read the disk. There we go. All right, we will run install. I think that is the correct command to run. All right. Copies the cache, configuration, utilities. Yeah, that looks good. All right. Are you currently running the script in a Windows DOS session? No. No. I want to copy him to drive C. Sure, we'll pick the default. You are running a disk cache program. Abort the installation now and disable your disk cache. Maybe I should do the following to make sure that nothing is running like Smart Drive, which I believe is a disk cache. There we go. I held shift down. Let's see here. All right, let's try this. Continue. We're not running in a DOS session. We're not running an OS2. I like to test the coprocessor. No. Windows automatically start. No, it does not. All right. Riveting, I know. Jack says fast math is so fast there wasn't time to put the T in fast. Yeah, seriously. Sure, you may create it. Excellent. Leave the diskette in. All right. You don't have to tell me twice. I mean, I'm going to let it run the cache coherency check, but I'm not expecting problems. The BIOS should know about Cyrix processors. Divide overflow. Well, that looks like it crashed the computer. Oh, yeah, that is definitely a hard lock. All right, I'm going to try to hit F8 and step through the config files. I bet I know what it did. Divide overflow. No, divide by 0 would be different. Okay, I'm gonna assume there's something wrong, and I'm gonna reset. I'm just not gonna run the cache coherency check. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Cyrix high performance microprocessor setup complete. All right. Oh, I should probably reboot and not run uh some of the software. Yeah, Stian says, isn't divide overflow the exception it throws when the result of the division won't fit in the destination register? Yes, I believe that is correct. All right. How much memory do we have? Probably not a lot. Okay, that's not too bad. All right. All right, let's run cache check. Ah, bummer. It would appear as if maybe that didn't actually. Well, Jack, it could have tried to divide. Um, I'm gonna look that up. That one. Bit defenders. Yeah, I think that is what divide overflow means, though. All right. Seems to have one cache. Well, all right. I guess the only thing we could do is run Doom and see if it feels any faster. This doesn't work. We'll run the Cyrix program and see if there's any command line parameters. Maybe when you first install it, it runs it, but doesn't enable the cache. Unless the cache coherency check succeeds? I don't know. I mean, it would also be interesting to maybe pull the math coprocessor out. Because maybe even though I told it not to run the math check, maybe I goofed. Maybe there's a bug and it still tries to run it. Because it's a ULSI math coprocessor, which I don't know if that's IEEE compliant. Because, yeah, divide overflow kind of implies that maybe it was actually trying to run the floating point test. Jack says, I'm confused. Why was the setup program concerned about having a disk cache program running? Is the software you installed not actually for the CPU cache? I don't know. It didn't elaborate why. It just says don't, which admittedly is not very helpful, but let me see if there's a README on that disk, and maybe the README might. Maybe the README might give a better reason. Hmm. Oh, okay. Well, that README's not helpful. Other than apparently there's a Cyrix driver for Windows. That's weird. Oh no, I think it actually might change the Windows boot screen. Okay, that's really weird. Yet no there's no document that really explains why it doesn't want you. Yeah, it doesn't say why it doesn't want you running cache program. Disk cache program. It just says don't. Nothing on that disk that explains it. Jack says if by weird you mean sketchy, then yes. Yeah. Oh, I think the L2 cache chips are enabled because if I run cache check, then you see the time to access memory increases above 256K. I don't think the L1 cache is enabled. I think that's the problem. Jack says, maybe I'm wrong, but I assumed maybe the program itself has a disk cache component and it was trying to prevent you from having two programs installed that are doing disk caching. That is entirely possible. Although it doesn't say anything about disk caching in anything I can read, but maybe while running cache coherency, Sloopy says something doesn't seem right here. You're right. It's Doom running like a PowerPoint. Hi, Sloopy. I'm trying to see if the L1 cache is enabled. I don't think this is running any faster, so I think the answer is no. Jack says, so the cache chips are L2 cache and the CPU also has an internal L1 cache. And we don't know if either are enabled. No, Jack, I don't know that the L1 cache in the processor is enabled. Cache check isn't showing it. This Cyrix processor has 1K of level 1 cache, which isn't much, but it does help a little bit. I don't think the Cyrix program enabled it. In fact, this almost seems like it's running slower. Sleepy says, maybe you got some peanut butter on the CPU when you did the thermal paste. Spoiler alert, there's no heat sink on the processor. I think that's just a slow. All right. CX486. All right. Well, that's totally not helpful. All right, fine. Let me just run it. Cyrix microprocessor status. Oh, well, there we go. That's neat. Well, if I'm reading this right, though, cache disable bit, cache disabled. Internal cache mode write through. So if I hit C here, sure. Don't think that helped any. Sleepy says cache disabled is a very inefficient mode of operation. Yeah. Jack says cache disabled bit, so this seems overly complicated. This looks the same. Yeah, it does. I don't. I found another Cyrix driver. Had trouble using it yesterday, but all right. Hmm. Well, that definitely did not seem to do anything. All right. Kernel read from registers. What's invalidate do? That didn't seem to do anything. All right. File utilities. Well, that's weird. So if bit 0 is 1, sets the first 64 kilobytes at each 1 megabyte boundary is non-cacheable. This is overly complicated. All right. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to try that. And all right. Let's try that. I think if I quit, we may have to try a good luck knowing what all this should do. Yeah. Next says I'm confused that the cache enablement isn't configured in BIOS. Well, that's the thing. I think I have it enabled in the BIOS, but I'm I thought its cache was just like 1K of data cache, but I don't know. It could be 1K of instruction cache. I mean, it is possible cache check just isn't going to show it. Could try Doom. I'm also going to see if I can find this other program that. Oh, that's interesting. According to this document here, that I'm looking at, the DLC chips have L1 cache enabled by default. However, the whole 4 GB memory region is set as non-cacheable by default. Oh, come on. Did I... Let me guess. I probably completely overlooked something here. All right. Cache configuration register 1. Non-cacheable It doesn't look like there's a non-cacheable region. I don't know. This program seems overly complicated. Hmm. All right. All right. Text says on the first page of the configuration flags, there were some things set to 1. Uh, I don't know why, but that shouldn't affect cache check. I mean, I guess I can let it be cacheable. What's the other program that was in here? It was 486. Oh, maybe this program a little simpler? Well, that's cool. Thought I did that in the Sarks utility, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I still haven't. We'll run Doom. We'll see if Doom's running any faster. Here I am, failing miserably at putting these computers together, only because I'd like to make sure it's working before I put it back in the case. Alright, let me go. It doesn't see the cache. Alright, let's see if Doom's running any faster. Trying to find the other Cyrix driver I keep reading about. Well, that doesn't help. Hmm. All right. After doing a little more reading, ugh, it's a Cyrix 486 DLC. I guess I could disable it and see if it runs slower. Does it run Crisis? No. I guess I could disable it and see if it runs slower. Might try running the Cyrix disk again. Oh, wait. That actually was faster. I think we actually have some cache turned on now. That actually is faster than it was. Believe it or not. Does speed sys see anything? I think we might have a. I think something's unhappy. I'm thinking the caching might not be set up correctly. Well, there we go. I don't know what it scored, but it scored something. Yeah. Sloopy says, Houston, we have a problem. Yes, we do. Probably have, I get an idea of what it is. All right. Based on the thing I was reading, I think actually we do want possibly that one on. Yes, I think we might have actually wanted to set the upper memory area as uncached. It is possible I may need to put a fast math coprocessor in the system to be able to run the Cyrix utility. I think I have one. That's not bad. We're over the performance of a 386 DX40. Texas law, CPU ID not support. Yeah, this predates CPU ID. I think that didn't really come into play until the Pentium era. And if anyone's wondering, yes, Trident video card. So, anyways, yeah, it's about time to end the stream. Despite the fact that I feel like I haven't gotten very far, I am tired and Jack's asking, what's the actual clock speed on this? It's 33 megahertz. And that's the rating of the Cyrix processor and the Mathco processor. They're 33 megahertz chips. So the fact that it rated over a 386 DX40 tells me that caching must be enabled. Yeah, yeah, it's not exactly a speed demon. I am curious though, after I turned off that upper memory area caching, if Doom is still running correctly. If it is, I'll make a note of the settings that I set the Cyrix cache utility to, and use that as the when I install the Cyrix cache utility on the hard drive. May not be much, but all right. I am curious. Let's see if I can remember where. I think I have a Cyrix fast math processor. In a box. Question is it the DX variant or is it an SX variant? All right, I think I know where it is, and I will probably be back with it before this finishes. Oh, yeah. Good news. It is a DX variant. And in fact, it's rated at 33 megahertz. So it would be a perfect complement to the Cyrix processor. I think. No, I don't think it was actually sealed when I got it because the disc is missing. Oh, wait. No, I don't think Cyrix included a disc. I think you had to call them for the disc. Ah, yeah, you had to call them for the disc. That's why there's no disc. Okay, maybe this was sealed when I got it, but the shrink wrap was in bad condition. So I think I went ahead and just opened it to make sure everything was included. But yeah, I'm actually thinking this might be a brand new, never used math coprocessor. I would be curious if I put this math coprocessor in the system and tried to run the Cyrix disk again, if maybe it would actually run. I'm wondering if it tried to issue a floating point operation even though I told it not to run the FPU check. I'm wondering if it ran some instruction on the floating point unit, because it decided to do a floating point unit check anyways, and it was one that depended on it being IEEE, whatever the IEEE spec is for math coprocessors. For some reason, I want to say 788, but I don't know if that's right. Actually, the box probably mentions it. Oh, IEEE 754. Yeah, it's right there on the back of the box. Oh, it has a limited lifetime warranty. So theoretically, if it doesn't work, I can have someone at a non-existent company laugh at me. All right, we might. Okay, well, it does appear as if the caching is working. I'm gonna save the. No, I can set them back. All right, let's try something here. I'm curious. All right, so I'm going to. All right, I want to try one last thing. I know this can be dangerous. Let's turn the system off. I'm going to remove the Mathco coprocessor, remembering that the alignment notch is in this corner here. There we go. All right, now I'm going to take my new old stock Cyrix Mathco processor. And I'm going to hope that it actually has a clear alignment notch, which I'm having trouble seeing in its plastic package. Oh, there we go. Oh, there it is. Yep, it's got a notch. All right. I'm going to align the notch in the same corner. That looks good. There's the notch. So let's spin. There we go. Processor in. And I'm going to stick our driver disk back in. The one that was supposedly going to run after a reboot. It does see the numeric coprocessor. Let's see what the disk does. Starting MS-DOS. Divide overflow. Ah! Alright, well, that wasn't it. All right. I was curious if that would actually fix the the install disk, but apparently there's something else wrong with it. All right. Someone did ask if the cache was enabled in the BIOS. No, it does not appear as if that's the case, unless that's an advanced chipset. No, it would appear as if this BIOS does not enable the cache, the L1 cache. Actually, why am I skipping this? I'll let everything load. All right. So what we needed to do, we need to change that. And we want bit 0 to be 0. Okay, we do want upper memory area non-cacheable. Okay, that all looks good. Yeah, I think that. All right. So now, if I restart, then hopefully, well, that's annoying. Huh. that's annoying. Apparently it doesn't actually enable the cache. All right. I think I'm going to find a different Cyrix utility just because this one is not actually enabling the cache when it runs. But just to check one thing though, that I actually have it enabled now. I'll run Doom one last time, and it should be about 11,600 some if the cache is enabled. Also, based on the article, I found that I was using to guess what mode I need to use. Oh. Oh, I know what the um I see. Apparently there's another command that maybe because the driver didn't run correctly, it didn't actually add the second command to my autoexec bat file. But actually there is a program in that directory that enables the cache. So that first program that it is running loads the registers, but does not set the does not clear the cache disable bit. There's another command in that directory that actually will clear the cache disable bit. That one is what I need to run, and then that should enable the cache when you boot the computer. Either that or I put the cache directory in the path, and then you can run it if you need to use the cache. Sloopy says Intel rules as probably as a response to that command line parameter to the one cache utility that basically it says try on Intel will probably crash. Jack says I might believe this is running faster than when we first saw it. 5.9 instead of 5.1 maybe. I mean, it's just a little bit of L1 cache, but probably while Doom is calculating the level, I guess that little bit of cache helps in running its loops. Flippy says, getting my Aptiva running was hard, but once I got it running, it did better than this. All right, we're almost there. I think it is running better. There we go. Yep. All right. That's the speed I was expecting, more or less, for cache. So I think with that, it's time to end the stream for tonight. So, what did we get done tonight? Well, we got Wheel of Regrets. We got me finding a GoTech, which was on my bench the entire time under stuff. And we got the cache enable utility to run. Granted, it's no speed demon, but I mean, it's a 33 megahertz Cyrix processor, so wasn't expecting it to be a speed demon. So, Thursday, I was going to look at the SE30, but well, maybe we'll still look at the SE30. Maybe I'll alternate. So, yeah, I guess Thursday we'll look at the SE30 and continue its recap. And then Jack says 5.573 frames per second instead of 5.1. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Don't know that I would call that playable, but it is better. Anyways, yeah, we'll look at the SE30 on Thursday, and at least I hopefully won't misplace my GoTech between now and then. Of course, it won't work on a Mac anyways. So, with that, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when I go live next. Want to be here Thursday for the SE30. We'll get that logic board recapped. And then probably next week, we'll come back to the swap meet PCs because they're still not together. But at least I think I got the cache sorted on this board, so I won't feel obligated to like do some CPU swap. Now, granted, is this the best motherboard for the Cyrix DLC processor? Probably not. I'm probably going to do a little research on the chipset to see if it has the cache bits for the best caching on the Cyrix processor, but I don't have another 386 board that I know works with the Cyrix processor. So, anyways, that I guess that's about time to end the stream because I gotta work tomorrow. So glad you all could hang out with me, put up with me while I was looking for my GoTech, and see that yep, we were able to enable the L1 cache on the Cyrix processor, and it added a little bit of a speed boost, not much, but at least it proves this system is suitable to put back together. I think I probably will leave the Cyrix Fast Math in this system, since it pairs nicely with Cyrix processor. And at least for now, I mean, I won't throw away the ULSI math code processor, but I might look before the next time I work on this board, which will be next week. I might look to see if there's a better Cyrix cache enable utility, maybe one that's set it and forget it. You just run it and it sets all the registers the right way, because that one from Cyrix is quite luxurious in everything it'll let you set, and I would not expect a normal user to know what most of that should be. Anyways, with that, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Hope to see you here Thursday. Don't be surprised if at some point I spray paint my Gotek Blaze Orange. That way it could double as a Blaze Orange patch during deer hunting season. Yep, good night, Callan. Good night, everyone else. Hope to see you all here next time. Yep, have a good day, Sloopy. And let me see here. Good night, Jack. Anyways, T-Rex says roar. I will move him back into position to kind of be more sideways, but well, for now, he's really acting like he's going to eat me and this computer too. Anyways, hope to see you all here Thursday. Take care and God bless. Computerized Start is brought to you by my awesome patrons on Patreon and by your tips and memberships on Ko-fi. These and other channel supporters make my live streams possible. You too can become a channel supporter with tiers starting at just $1. Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you've liked what you've seen, subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss the next video or live stream. And as always, thank you for all your support. I hope to see you next time. And until then, take care.